Good evening, everybody. I'm Chuck Rogers, a licensed professional counselor and licensed marriage and family therapist.
And I'm Keith Dunn, and I'm a network engineer.
And together we are Tabletop Coffee, right?
Yeah, yes, we are. And we are bold and never ever bitter.
And tonight we're going to talk about reprogramming your brain, getting rid of negative thoughts. Stay tuned. We'll talk about one way to do that.
I was watching a YouTube video over the weekend. And you know, I talk to you about the TED Talks from time to time.
Oh, yeah.
And
great.
I was watching a TED Talk this weekend, and it made me cry.
No joke.
Yeah, it really did. I sat there weeping, and Lisa was looking at me, and she's like, "Oh my goodness, what is wrong?"
Why were you crying?
So the TED Talks, it really was something that was amazing. This guy was talking about how things that we are told when we're kids, or we as adults talking to our kids,
Oh, yeah.
how it's kind of like lines of code that we write in their brain or get written in our brain.
Oh, like codes like you and Rob would write
Exactly.
for your business.
Yeah, that's right. So I sat back and I thought, oh, this is really relevant to me. It makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But he was talking about all of the negative comments that parents made. And he went through this Australian study that was done a number of years ago where they took 1,000 families.
Okay.
And he did that in air quotes because normal families is what he
sure.
said. And he said that out of that 1,000 families that they determined that 23 negative comments were made to their kids each day.
Each day.
Each day. And he calculated it over 18-year span, you're at like 148,000 comments, negative comments that you make towards your kids.
And that's just writing code in your kid's brain.
That's right. And we've talked about that before. And you've talked about the neural pathways.
Neural pathways.
Yeah, he called it something else, but neural pathways that actually get creased in your brain. And you get told the same thing over and over again. You're not good enough, or, you know, why don't you make better grades? Why don't you do as good as your sister? You know, things like that.
Yes.
That really cause us some pain. And, you know, I was thinking about that, and we all have it. Growing up, I was thinking about some things that, you know, caused me some pain growing up, and things that I had to really work through
Right.
as an adult
Yes.
to get through that process. And it just made me tear up thinking about that, and then also thinking, oh my goodness, what have I said to my kids? That
Sure.
because you know you do it if that study covers so many parents, you know, I'm sure I have done the same thing. So it makes you wonder, you know, what you have caused as far as pain with your own kids. Yeah. So one thing that he talked about in this was rewriting those pathways.
Rewrite the code, yeah.
Yeah, or rerouting. We've talked about that, rerouting your thoughts. And one of the things that he did that I thought was so neat was he wrote a script at the end where he actually would talk to himself, and he would say, you know, in the present tense, I am this or I am that. Because he said if you say I shall or I will, it kind of tricks your brain.
In the future.
Yeah. So your brain thinks that it's something in the future, and then you don't have to do it
As
now.
opposed to now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think about all that?
The guy that you heard on this TED Talk,
Yeah.
what was his name?
Stefan Eddie. I don't
Australian?
know. I just
Yeah.
destroyed that name.
We'll put the
Just
link.
terrible.
We'll put the link in there.
Yeah,
too.
we'll put a link in there.
Was he dealing with a particular negative thought that he had?
Yeah, you know, he was actually talking about how he would get so angry and cuss when he would be working on things. He told stories about this boat that he was working on, and it was a sailboat. And he would go down and he would work on the engine, and he would just be angry and cuss the whole time he's working on it. Nobody wanted to be around him. His
Well, of
wife
course
didn't want
not,
to be around
no.
him. His kids, nobody wanted to be around him. So he thought, well, I really need to change this about myself.
Yeah.
And so what he came up with was this whole thing of, I'm going to write a script that helps me rewrite these thoughts.
Rewrite the code.
Yeah, it's all about rewriting the code. So let me share that with you.
Oh, please do, yeah.
Okay. I only focus on things I can change. I'm never worried. I'm good at solving problems. I like challenges. Problems are my teachers. They help me grow. Without problems, I would not be going anywhere. Problems are important to me. If I have a goal, problems are my road to get there. Problems are important to me. Problems are no problems with me.
Ooh, that's pretty rich. So whenever you encounter a problem, which I'm going to, you're going to, we're all going to,
Yes.
we're all going to encounter them. So
Right.
when problems are encountered, he was then teaching his brain to see them as this, as opposed to something that was bad.
Exactly. And what he recommended was go ahead and record this and have listen to this each day. And then after so many days, you're going to get to a point where it triggers in your mind and you memorize this entire thing. And then you're not just hearing it, but you're speaking it. And then it really starts to rewrite those neural pathways.
Yeah, it really is important to say it and to say it out loud. Now, you got to kind of do this activity by faith.
Yeah,
You've just got to do it. And the first day, it's going to feel awkward and hokey.
Sure will.
And the second day, it'll probably feel awkward and hokey. And the third day, it'll probably feel awkward and hokey. But at some point in there, it's not going to feel so weird anymore. It's like if you've been wearing your left shoe on your right foot for your entire life, and then someone comes along and says, you know, hey, you need to put your right shoe on your right foot and your left shoe on your left foot. And you say, okay, I trust you, and you do that. When you first start walking in that, you're going to say, are you sure this is the way to wear them? Because
Wow.
it sure feels weird to me.
That's amazing.
But it's
Yes.
right.
Right.
It's right. And so you're going to have to read this new script out loud every day by faith, thinking that it's going to take hold at some point, and it will. I mean, this is what Scripture says. Scripture says, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
That's right.
And Scripture says, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is of good report, whatever is excellent or praiseworthy, think about these things. It's true blue meditation, changing of the brain.
And I love bringing that in on top of this because, you know, if the scripture is behind this as well, you know it's something that you can stand on.
Yeah, I would say you're going to need to read this more than 60 times.
Oh, I would think so
Every
too.
day for more than 60 days.
Yeah, I think so, for it to get deep-seated in there and make the changes that it needs to change.
Yeah, so take the problem, take the negative thought or thoughts that you're having, and just rewrite a new paragraph to replace that and read it out loud at least once per day for more than 60 days and see what happens with that. I'm quite certain it'll make the negative thought go down.
Oh, I think so too.
Yeah.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed this. This has been a little bit different, but we hope this is a good talk for you as well. Be sure and subscribe to our channel and ding that bell so you're notified of upcoming videos.
Yeah, make sure to like it.
Yep, share it with your friends.
Thanks, everybody.
Until next time, what do you need?
A little bit more of you.
A little more of me. A little more of me. That could be a great song.
We need a lot more of you.
I think what the world needs now is me, me, me. Isn't that right?
More of Keith would benefit everybody.
You know what Chuck learned tonight?
What's
Do you
that?
remember what you learned tonight?
Man,
You can't touch this.
I did. I came in and I touched a leaf on the plant. The leaf hit one domino. And that's all you need to do is tip one domino, right?
Oh, that's right. We still have 3 standing. And then as soon as Chuck told me that, I said, you can't touch that.